My life is in chaos. I'm merely existing. I don't like who I am anymore. I know I need to stop, but when I do, I can't deal with my thoughts. I can't cope. I need help.
It helps I'm in recovery myself, so I can empathise. I can absolutely empathise with where people are at the moment, you know, and how hopeless and helpless that feels. Why they feel like there is no way out.
When I came in, I expected it to be maybe more clinical. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it feels like a home. It does feel like we go out on the bus to go to meetings and things, and then when we come back, I find myself saying, "Oh, when I get home." So there's a real sense of it feeling comfortable, and it feels like a special place. I feel thankful and grateful to be here.
One of the key differences is we're small. You know, we only accept 12 clients into the house itself. You know, everyone gets their own bedroom, their own bathroom, so you know you have those things. We're not asking people to share. It's not like prison. It's not, you know, it's not like but going into hospital. I think our whole approach is one of, from therapy to the way that we are. It's the truth. It's reality. It's honest. It is intense. It's intensive therapy, but it's surrounding that. You know, so we're asking people to go to places that they've never really, you know, in themselves, that they've never opened up about before, they've never spoken about before. So the magic of group therapy is you're sat listening to somebody else talking about their experience or their behaviour or how they feel. And again, that word empathise, you're able to empathise and it becomes okay to talk about.
All I can say is it works. It's I don't know because I haven't left. But it's working and I feel calmer, stronger. I like myself. I've got back in touch with sort of who I used to be. But even when I used to be that person, I was still in a lot of pain, going through an enormous amount of grief. And now I'm that person, but with a lot more tools, and I have actually dealt with things properly. I've really gone as deep as I think I could go, and that I've seen a huge change. And one of the main things is just feeling, not all of the time, but for a lot of the time, feeling more content, feeling this level of like joy and happiness, not every day, but in moments that had gone from my life, and most people take for granted, but it's not something that people that I don't think come into rehab, we don't have that.
They're addiction specialists and they're the best therapists that I've worked with. All very different, very talented, very experienced. Once you're part of the Gladstones family, you're always part of the Gladstones family, and I think it shows that there's something special happening here. The therapy is superb. It's challenging, it's intense, but it's cutting edge and it's innovative. And we're able to be flexible and we're able to tailor our work to the needs of the individual. The youngest person here at the moment is 17, the oldest is in the 70s, and all walks of life, all backgrounds, and we're able to, because we're small, because we're flexible, we're able to tailor our work to their needs. And that's special. That doesn't happen in most big corporate rehabs.
I've never done therapy before, ever in my life. And all of a sudden to be sitting beside somebody, you know, or sitting across from somebody who, how can I say it, who I didn't know, had absolutely no rapport at first from them, and I just talked, and it was amazing just to talk about stuff that went back many years. Wonder why. I mean, we lost a child that was 4 months old, and my wife, who died 4 years ago, from pancreatic cancer. All that stuff came out, which I hadn't even thought about, you know. The idea that something happens in your past that creates yourself at this time is quite illuminating. It's very enlightening, yeah.
So grateful, so grateful. I don't think I would have stopped using, because I came in for my eating disorder and I was completely in denial about my using, my alcohol, like drinking. And yeah, it was talking to other people and hearing what other people were saying and who identified as addicts and alcoholics, and they kind of spoke my language, and I thought, actually, yeah, that's me. So it was whilst I was in here that I realised that I have a problem with drugs and alcohol, and that I said I'm an addict and I'm an alcoholic. And yeah, so without Gladstones, I'd still be out there using. I'd still be in the mess, really. So yeah, I'm really grateful. You know, I guess I partly owe my life to Gladstones. I know that's a bit cheesy, but I'd still be using. So yeah.
The family programme started partway through her stay here. It had been stopped due to COVID, and it restarted while she was here. So we were able to come in once a week on a Friday afternoon and talk to a therapist. And that was incredibly useful, talking to somebody in complete confidence, and knowing that that confidence would be respected both ways. So about how we were feeling, and being in a room full of other people who were going through something similar, whether they were parents or spouses or children or friends, partners, and just being with that kind of community of people who all understood it, and with a therapist who was able to give that kind of professional input, so that we were able to kind of develop our knowledge about addiction and recovery, and what that meant for us.
Now, when the families come in, it's a really big ask to you know, for somebody's family to come into the treatment centre as well. However, that is the very beginnings of repairing the relationship. We encourage family members to take ownership of what it's been like for them. And why it's so powerful is it's probably the first time they've had the opportunity to be honest, without being met with some defensiveness or passive aggression or kind of denial of some description. So they're just kind of, we encourage the clients to sit there silently, not say anything, and just listen, make eye contact in close proximity, and that is a very powerful medium. And we give the kind of families a template. When you did this, I felt. So they're encouraged to take ownership of their feelings. And just the act of, even for other clients witnessing that, they can't help but be the observer and imagine what it would be like for them. So it's usually a very emotional day and quite powerful. And you know, and we do say this is just the beginning of open and honest communication, and hopefully that can continue, and that in itself is reparative. It's probably for the first time the families feel heard, because they get some feedback from the rest of the group. So it is a very powerful day.
Going forward in these rooms, out of these rooms, in any recovery setting, you feel like you're in, I can only really describe it as like a club you didn't want to be in, but actually it's the most, to connect, to genuinely connect with people, and it doesn't matter who they are, what they're called, what they like doing, is how I felt most comfortable in myself and most able to get better. It's a very safe space. It's probably the most safe I've ever felt.
I'm beginning to quite like myself, and I'm feeling moments of joy. I've dug very deep, processed my thoughts, and I feel connected. I know the work doesn't stop here, but I'm ready to live.